Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 148. I want to talk to business owners who are side hustling. If you're growing an e-commerce store as your side hustle and you've got a full-time job or a career, big family, all the commitments we have in life, and you're trying to grow a small business on the side, I want to talk to you today about three things I suggest you do now in the lead up to Black Friday to maximize your revenue across Black Friday, across sort of this critical sale period time of year that I think won't be too overwhelming. I've whittled sort of the list of possible things you could do down to just three because I feel like if your business is a side hustle and you're growing it gradually, then you potentially feel paralyzed sometimes with the amount of things you could be doing or all the things that you aren't doing that you think you should be. And it can be tricky to identify perhaps the areas that are probably worth your most time and attention for the best result you can get for the time you have available. They are layered though, so there are many ways you can go with these three areas I suggest you work on. It just depends on your time, really, how much time you have, and also how much money you have to spend, for example, on ads, because that is my first one. Ads is going to be point number one. Consider running cost neutral for the next little while. So, if you are running a sale near the end of November, I encourage you to run a couple of ads or an ad, depending what your daily budget is, depending how much creative you have put together, and run some campaigns on a cost neutral basis. Like, be prepared to spend as much on a purchase as maybe it's costing you, like as what your average order value is, so that you maybe break even, or obviously, with your cost of goods sold, the end result is pretty well break even, basically to collect leads, to grow your email list and kind of expand your warm audiences online. Realistically, what I do suggest you do is set up a campaign or a couple of campaigns, depending what your budget is per day, and run some ads to basically pull in that traffic and pull in those users into a warm audience. So you're bulking out your Facebook engage, your Instagram engage, your video viewers, your Klaviyo list, people who've been on your website, and you're going to be getting purchases through this period of time as well, which will be probably expensive for you if you don't often run ads, but all towards the goal of growing your email list and using this warm audience when it comes to a sale period to retarget with your sale offer. When your sale period starts, I encourage you to go hard with your budget in the first few days, because you want Meta to scoop up all those warm users early before CPMs, which is the cost per 1,000 impressions. CPM is the amount Meta charges you to be in people's feeds. So CPMs tells us a lot about the audience size and the marketplace and competitors. When I actually looked at CPMs for myself and one client, uh, from like Black Friday last year, our CPMs already this year are up 50%, like usual times. Like at the moment, it hasn't even got to Black Friday yet. And CPMs in his account and my own account are 50% more now than they were at sale period last year. It just sort of speaks to how many more advertisers there are on the platform for Meta this time than there was a year ago, which means competition is fierce. So I would encourage you to go hard with your budget in the first few days of advertising. Say you plan to spend $500 across a week on ads to get some sales for your Black Friday offer, then spend a couple of hundred in the first 48 hours. So sort of front load that budget spend so that Meta can go and scoop up all the people that are on the peripheral who maybe have been warmed with the ads you're running prior, and scoop them up early before CPMs get expensive or before they continue to get expensive. And then as results start to get expensive for you, you can actually turn your ads off rather than scaling into the results. So ordinarily we would say, and I would say, start your budget modestly and then scale what works. But in the case of a sale, I say the opposite. Spend more in the initial first few days to give Meta the best chance of finding those purchases early. And then as the market increases and gets more expensive, and then as your results start to fatigue and fall away, as your ads start to reach cold audiences and new users, so your results will start to get more expensive, then turn your ads off. And at the same time, of course, you should be doing email as well alongside. But point one is ads. You might be spending $50 or $150 every day, or $250 every day. Then, of course, your campaign type will need more creative. You're going to need more videos and more images. And I suggest you run an Advantage Plus shopping campaign, so an ASC, and let Meta go and find all these people, give it all the creative it could possibly want, and that campaign can run and perform for you for an extended period of time. It will scoop up all those warm users, because an ASC will do that as well. And then it will also prospect and find you some brand new leads, and that starts to warm them up as well, which is why it will need lots of creative. So 5 videos and 5 images. That's what I suggest you have in your ASC. And if you've got good creative, and if you have got a budget to match, and your creative speaks to all parts of the funnel, so you have different types of creative in your ad, so maybe a graphic, a video, an image, a product-based image, a product-based video, a founder story, a review, like all the different sort of types of content you can create, then your ASC is going to do a great job for you. I'm sure it will, in getting lots of people through that funnel and also converting them through as well, and some new users too. So you can potentially leave that running for quite a period of time, and it will actually improve in performance over time. So again, I suggest you start off heavy with the budget so that you're not scaling into it as time goes on, because as the sale goes on, as we get closer to Black Friday in early December, results on the platform get more expensive. So you're going to need to weigh up scaling into a more expensive market. You're better off starting off strong with a generous budget spend at the start. Give the ASC lots of scope, and then as the results fatigue over time, you can turn them off. The best case scenario will be what happened for one of my clients and myself last Black Friday, which is I had to turn the ads off for myself and a client because the sale had ended, but they were doing so well. So it's like, it felt bad. I'm like, I can't believe I have to turn these ads off. These are the best results ever. And now I have to turn them off. It feels so terrible to turn off ads that are performing well. But in a sale period, you kind of have that finish line there. So you can't really control that a whole lot, which is really unfortunate. But that means a successful campaign, a successful sale period, move lots of stock, lots of new customers, and lots of revenue. That's what we are looking for this time of year, hey, Q4. Hey, what's the very next step for you in growing online? If you have an e-commerce store, or you're looking for clients, you have a service-based business, you can reach out to me for one-on-one support on a project-by-project basis. I'm like an anti-agency, little mini agency on my own. I don't offer long retainer packages for brand new clients. I want you to feel confident. Well, in 2024, my revenue that came directly from email marketing was 36% of my whole revenue across the year. And my revenue for 2024 was increased 30% on 2023 results. So I'm definitely in a good position to support you. I've been told I'm the baby budget Facebook ad specialist because I can work with a very small daily budget or a large daily budget. It's really dependent on what you're looking for as a business and what your immediate goals are, that I can guide you on what is the best path towards success for your business. You can reach out to me at AussieOnlineGrowingOnShopify.com.au. In fact, you can actually put an appointment straight in my calendar. We can chat about your business for like 25 minutes about what struggles you're having, what your immediate goals are, kind of the stage of business you find yourself at. I'm really excited to have the potential to work with you. I encourage you to head to the website where you can book yourself a free discovery call, and we can chat about how I can support your business in getting the results that you need to grow online next. Number 2 is to design whatever collateral or assets you want to use. So your videos, your graphics, and your photos. Go back to last year. If you're really struggling with what to do and what to create, and you were around last year for a sale, or even your end of financial year sale, go and look for inspiration there in what you've used previously and duplicate and replicate that. Honestly, a quick Google search of Black Friday offers and Black Friday graphics will quickly show you it's really not hard. You just want to be clear in your messaging. You just want to be clear in the offer and convey it very quickly, which is why I think images perform so well. I often find images get me a better cost per result than video. And I guess that's because, this is my theory, is that people convert often from the image, even though the previous content of video does all that work of trust building and getting your brand, people more familiar with your brand. But when it comes to just flat out seeing the product in their face and buy now, that's what pushes people over the line who have been thinking about it. So it's not hard to do Black Friday graphics, Black Friday offers, or videos. I would suggest doing a video. If you can do a couple of videos, I think you'd be well worth your time to do so. Like a quick video on your phone, even. You don't even have to be face to camera, or a video, a templated video. Sometimes if I get stuck with making a video and I just really cannot bring myself to do it, then I have a graphic and I obviously convert it to video. So animate the text or something to make it an MP4 so that when you use it, it is a video rather than an image. That's like my like just cheat through and just get through if I haven't got the time to actually create a video. I sometimes do that with an image, just animate parts of it and create a video out of that. So that's point 2. The last point is to do your emails. Set out your plan for your emails. Do a couple of emails across your sale period. I would do an email prior as well to let people know you're going on sale. I think I shared in my episode last week or the fortnight ago that as we get closer to a sale period like Black Friday, which honestly starts in November. So when you're listening to this, people will be expecting sale messaging to be plastered across their social media feeds next week. They're going to start holding on to their cash unless it's on sale. I found this in my own business last year, and I've done a few measures in late October to try and claw in some revenue to get myself to a more regular revenue month. But it's taking me more effort to do that because people are holding on to their money waiting for a sale. And you will find the same potentially as well. If you do find the same historically, if you've found the same, just tell people you're going to go on sale. So send an email, let them know this date you're going on a sale. Don't send it a month out. Like you don't want to put people off buying at all for a whole month prior, but you could send that a week before your sale starts, just to let people know, hey, guess what? I'm going to go on sale soon. So hold on to your cash because you will be happy you waited for the sale to start. Then you want a sale email when your sale starts, which you can also schedule this as well. This email can be scheduled prior. You want to send that to your engage segment first. But depending on your deliverability score in Klaviyo, this can go to a much larger group. I would still just send to your engage segment on its own initially, and then I would fold in or replicate or duplicate that email campaign and send to different segments and different groups in different send schedule or different campaigns. I wouldn't lump everybody into the very same campaign. I just think I think it's better to look at the metrics split out. So I think it's helpful to see the data split out rather than putting 10,000 users in one email, unless your email list is 100,000, then that would make sense. Then split it into smaller segments and send them in smaller groups. So you're still sending to a huge group in the end. And depending on your deliverability score, you can probably send to many more people than you usually would. With a sale, you absolutely should. But if your deliverability score is sitting in the poor range, I wouldn't risk it. That's hard to claw back from poor because you will spend a lot of the next couple of months trying to redo that and repair that. Plus, if your deliverability is poor anyway, your sale emails are going to people's spam folders. So they're not actually landing in the inbox. Case in point, my podcast, like I sent an email this week. Any of you that get my emails know I don't do emails regularly. I don't have segments. So your email that you might have got from me probably ended up in your promotions folder. Like when it comes to my podcast and supporting my clients and talking about it here, I don't practice what I preach. So, my socials for my podcast are woeful, all that sort of stuff. But e-commerce, which is my main focus, and obviously supporting clients with their e-commerce, rather than using my podcast here and all its socials as my examples, my e-commerce store, then I would be using segments and I would be happy to make my deliverability suffer. So that's what I would suggest. So you want an email to go out about your sale. Then you want a final call email, wrapping up or ends soon, ends this weekend, last chance, ends tonight, stock limited, sale ends tomorrow, all that kind of FOMO last minute messaging to capture those people who didn't see your first email, who didn't shop from your first email, or they could potentially shop again. Depending on your brand and how often customers come back, you might be able to scoop up some repeat purchases off of that like final call sale email before your sale finishes up. So there should be 3 emails across this period of time, a minimum. To even if you send each of them to one segment, that's 3 emails to build, 3 emails to schedule to 3 segments, which may be all the same segments. Like I said, that's very dependent on your deliverability score, how often you have been emailing historically anyway, and the results you often get from email, so you know what you can expect to achieve from email. Otherwise, then you should be sending many more than 3, but obviously the 3 can go to different segments. So you might have 12 emails across this period of time, but each of them are going to a different sort of group or different segment, so they're being duplicated. That's depending how big your list is. So if you have tens of thousands of contacts and they're segmented in lots of different ways, you can absolutely do this work. Email is still the cheapest, like ROI. Hey, return on investment, email trumps everything. Every time email comes out on top. As email, what was I saying? Has the best ROI. That's what I was saying. Email has the best ROI and return on investment for the amount of time it takes you to execute and to get return on. The reason I love email so much for a sale, I shared this last year. I remember because I think about this every time a sale comes up. When we are in a heavy advertising season like Black Friday, put your customer hat on. And if you are on social media scrolling, you've got the TV turned on, you're seeing ads on YouTube and Netflix and free to air TV. There's sale messaging everywhere you look. When you open your email feels a bit more like your approved, secluded little world of people you are happy to hear from. For me, at Christmas last year, I went to my emails to see what of the brands I follow and like to get their emails were having a sale and what their sales were, so I could spend my money there first, knowing I liked the brand, knowing I would find something I love, and knowing they probably had a sale going, without kind of opening Google and being, oh my goodness, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like where would you even go? Like Christmas gift ideas. Oh, just that makes me feel anxious thinking about how many hours that could take. You'd be like scrolling and doom scrolling online for days. But email, if you are in somebody's inbox, they have been okay with you being there, and they can go there knowing they will find brands they like, they're happy to hear from, they connect with, and they're going to go check out if those brands have a sale or not and if they want to buy. So be in people's inboxes. That's what I'm trying to say. Be in people's inboxes across this sale period, because if they've subscribed to you and they're happy to get emails from you and you have an offer for them, make sure you deliver it and communicate it several times, because customers will go there knowing that they can find ideas, gift ideas, places to spend their Christmas spending money without the overwhelm of just endlessly scrolling online or watching commercials on TV and like in that kind of like open-ended, where on earth do I start? What on earth am I going to buy someone? Opening Amazon and just seeing what Amazon happens to show you, hoping something piques your interest. I sometimes do that. Then inboxes, my inbox, I absolutely love to go looking for what my brands that I like to shop from, and I have got my email address and I'm happy to hear from them, what offers they have so that I can spend my money there first. Think about that in this. If you are worried about sending emails or too many emails, this is not the time of year to worry about it. Do not worry about sending too many emails at this time of year. Most of you listening, I know because I speak to you on discovery calls and when I work with you, aren't sending lots of emails anyway. I know you feel like you're sending lots of emails because it feels like you're being salesy, but you're really not sending a lot of emails. And at this time of year, we need to be in inboxes because that's where customers are looking for a more safe refuge and a safe, curated experience of where to spend their money when the overwhelm of scrolling online becomes too much. That's my suggestion. I feel very strongly about that, as you can tell, especially about email. And it will be your best ROI this time of year if your email list is healthy and current and has good leads in it. This, of course, is a completely different story if your deliverability has sunk to an all-time low. If you haven't collected any new leads in a long time and all your emails that you have are historical and old and stale, you won't see the results you could expect ordinarily from email, because that's a whole separate problem to solve. But for this episode, you have a small email list or you've been collecting emails, you've been worried maybe about emailing them, please go ahead and do so for this time of year, and do so at least 3 times, and schedule it out if you are obviously trying to find the small hours in your life around work to do this every week. This is totally achievable in a maybe 3-hour window, say an hour for each email at the most. Spend 3 hours in the next month getting this work done. For hanging out with me today on this episode. That went quick when I'm looking at the time. It's just 3 things. So I hope this has given you a little bit of a plan to go ahead and just do these 3 very simple things, but you will see a return on investment for all of these efforts. And I hope it helps you funnel your energy better in the next period of time. It becomes a very busy time of year for all of us, especially if you are working as well as growing an e-commerce store as a side hustle. Then these 3 things will be valuable use of your time, and you can kind of block out all the other noise that sort of screams out for our attention. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And in business, Hayes, we are growing and learning new things, problem solving every day. I encourage you to go and listen to some other episodes I have about Black Friday if you're really stuck and feeling super unmotivated about this time of year. I hope it gives you some inspiration to get an offer planned, executed, to get some money through the door and some new customers, and move some of that inventory that's probably sitting on a shelf somewhere. I'll see you next time. As always, keep learning.